What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Paddy Pimblett is planning to strike Justin Gaethje like Max Holloway as UFC 324 approaches, just a little over a week away. The fight buildup is finally gaining momentum, with new content emerging from the fighters themselves. Recently, Pimblett was interviewed by TNT Sports and shared his thoughts on the upcoming matchup with Gaethje. During the interview, Paddy explained that he intends to keep the fight on the feet, revealing that Holloway essentially provided a blueprint for beating Gaethje. He said, "I'll keep it on the feet with him. Like, there's the blueprint there to beat him. Max done it, and everyone underestimates my strike. Everyone thinks I'm just gonna come in and take him down. I'm not like an absolute war with Chandler. I pieced Chandler up. I know MMA matches don't always work like that, but you'll see come Jan 24th when we have a perfect game plan and we finish him within 3. Pimblett's confidence is clear, emphasizing his striking skills and his belief that he can execute a precise plan to defeat Gaethje. His approach highlights his readiness to engage in a technical, high-paced stand-up battle rather than relying solely on grappling. By analyzing past fighters like Holloway, Pimblett feels prepared to exploit weaknesses and maintain control on the feet. This strategy shows Paddy's focus and determination as he combines skill, preparation, and confidence to enter one of the biggest fights of his career. The anticipation for UFC 324 is growing, with fans eager to see how Pimblett's striking game will play out against Gaethje's relentless style. The stage is set for a thrilling showdown where every punch and combination could decide the outcome. Both fighters are bringing intensity and preparation, making this a must-watch fight that promises high-level striking and exciting action. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Israel Adesanya and Pyfer have reacted to the latest fight announcement. Last night, Dana White revealed the main event for UFC Seattle, and both fighters shared their thoughts right after the live stream. Adesanya took to X and wrote, "Ah, here we go again," along with a promo video hyping up the fight. As for Pyfer, he posted on Instagram saying, "I'm blessed for the opportunity against one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Little Joey P is on his way. Hard work incoming. Self-belief and faith can pull any man out of a dark time. Let's go get this." Joe is clearly ready for the challenge and full of determination. The MMA community's reaction to this fight has been pretty mixed, though it's not too surprising. Just a couple of weeks ago, Adesanya mentioned that he isn't chasing titles anymore. He explained that he just wants to fight, regardless of the opponent's name. "For me, it's not about belts anymore. I got 2 shiny belts at home. They look good. I just want to fight. I just want to do things like I did on the way to the belt," he said. He added that even while defending his titles, he still fought well, but now he wants the freedom to try riskier moves again, just like he did earlier in his career. He specifically recalled his fight against Brad Tavares, saying, "I think in the first round, I went for an Imanari roll that failed. I want to try it like that again." This mindset shows Adesanya is excited to bring back some of the creativity and unpredictability that made him such a thrilling fighter to watch. With both fighters expressing their excitement, the anticipation for this matchup is building rapidly. Adesanya, with his experience and willingness to take risks, faces Pyfer, who is clearly motivated and ready to prove himself against one of the sport's best. Fans are now looking forward to seeing how this clash will play out, especially with Adesanya focused on fighting freely and Pyfer embracing the opportunity to make a statement. The upcoming fight is shaping up to be a must-watch event, combining the skill, determination, and excitement that UFC fans expect from the sport. Both athletes are mentally prepared, and the buzz around the fight is growing every day. Moving on to another news. Dricus du Plessis' next fight may have just been revealed. DDP has been on hiatus since his loss to Khamzat Chimaev back in August of last year, leaving fans curious about when he'll return. UFC light heavyweight Tuco Tokos recently hinted at du Plessis' next matchup in an interview with Cage Chronicles, saying that he's expecting the fight to happen soon. He explained, "I mean, yeah, man, I hope they're gonna make that. I'm hearing good things. It's just a waiting game, but you never know in this sport. Things change so quickly. Injuries, matchmaking, events." Tokos added that he hopes to see du Plessis fight in Seattle, emphasizing that du Plessis wants to make it right and settle the score from his previous loss. Adding fuel to the speculation, Brendan Allen recently stated that he will be fighting in April. He wrote, "Ready to start 2026 off with a bang. April, we stamp our spot as next for the belt. This has led to strong speculation that the UFC could match du Plessis and Allen for the #1 contender spot at middleweight. Fans are anticipating a high-stakes clash, as the winner would be positioned to challenge for the title in the near future. Meanwhile, Khamzat Chimaev has been calling out Alex Pereira for a potential light heavyweight fight, which could be booked for the UFC White House card. If that matchup happens, it may leave the #1 contender spot open for the winner of du Plessis versus Brendan Allen. This scenario would set up an exciting sequence of fights, keeping the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions dynamic and competitive. With du Plessis ready to return, Allen pushing for a title shot, and Chimaev targeting light heavyweight action, the upcoming months promise major shakeups in the UFC. Fans are eagerly watching for official confirmations, knowing that injuries or last-minute changes could alter the landscape quickly. The build-up to these fights is already creating a lot of buzz, and the potential matchups could have significant implications for championship contention across multiple divisions. Dricus du Plessis' return marks an important moment in the middleweight division, and the anticipation is only growing as Fight Night approaches. Moving on to another news. Paulo Costa is officially moving up to light heavyweight. Right after Dana White's announcement, another huge fight was revealed. According to Lerte Viana, Paulo Costa will face Azamat Muzarkanov on April 11th at UFC 327. This event is set to take place at Casa Center in Miami. Before the official announcement, Muzarkanov thought Dana White's livestream might be about their fight, but that wasn't the case. Following the news, both fighters shared their reactions online. Paulo Costa took to X, saying, "Light heavyweight, I'm going to take all secret juice available right now," and later added, "Bulking season, babe, unlimited juicy," alongside a picture showing his current physique. Muzarkanov also responded on X, sending a warning to Costa, writing, "Coming to Miami to take care of business." Looking at their recent performances, Paulo Costa is coming off a win over Roman Kopylov back in July. He was scheduled to fight Bruno Ferreira on March 7th, but had to pull out of that matchup. Azamat Muzarkanov, on the other hand, has been on an incredible run in the promotion. He is undefeated in the UFC at 6-0 and boasts a perfect professional record of 16-0. His last appearance was at UFC 321 against Aleksandar Rakic, where he delivered a very impressive knockout, further establishing himself as one of the rising threats in the division. This matchup promises to be explosive, as Costa brings his power and experience into a new weight class, while Muzarkanov continues his meteoric rise with his striking and finishing ability. The fight not only marks Costa's debut at light heavyweight, but also sets the stage for a high-stakes clash that fans are eagerly anticipating. Both fighters appear motivated and ready to make a statement, and the build-up to UFC 327 is already gaining serious momentum, with Costa looking to assert himself in a new division and Muzarkanov aiming to extend his perfect streak. This fight is shaping up to be a must-watch event for UFC fans everywhere. Moving on to another news, Justin Gaethje said in an interview that he wants Ilia Topuria to move up so he can fight Max Holloway at the White House card. He explained, "I hope Max Holloway wins. I hope Ilia goes up so that I can fight Max on the White House card. Take the BMF belt and the championship." If everything unfolds the way Gaethje envisions, it raises questions about Arman's path. With Gaethje aiming for Holloway and big titles, Arman may face a longer wait to secure a title shot, possibly extending beyond a year as the lightweight division continues to shift. Moving on to another news. Jorge Masvidal revealed his dream boxing matchup, reflecting on a fight he had envisioned for years. He explained that when he held a belt and Canelo had his, that matchup would have been a mega fight. Masvidal said, "It would have just been a mega fight. We would have broken all types of records on gates and everything, boxing-wise. I never even belonged as a sparring partner to Canelo, but in a fight, anything can happen." He added that Canelo was the dance partner he would have picked, someone legendary to face in the ring. Masvidal reflected on the period around 2019 and 2020, when rumors and movements suggested the fight could happen. He described it as a dream scenario for him, imagining the impact and legacy such a bout would have created. For Masvidal, facing someone of Canelo's caliber would have been a defining moment in his combat sports journey. Moving on to another news, Justin Gaethje revealed that if he gets knocked out again, he will retire. He explained that he went to sleep for the first time in his career and decided that would be his line. "One more knockout. I went to sleep. That was before. "I'd never been put to sleep. If I get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits," he said. Gaethje added that at 37 years old, this isn't the beginning, but the end of his career. He reflected on his journey, saying, "It's been an amazing experience, marking a remarkable chapter in UFC history." Moving on to another news. Dana White has received major backlash after the recent fight announcements. The MMA community expressed frustration over the way the UFC has been revealing its big fights lately. Fans pointed out that Dana barely seems to care, even failing to charge his phone before doing an announcement, despite teasing it hours earlier. This led many to wonder whether he is truly invested in the UFC anymore or simply maintaining appearances for the brand image. MMA On Point highlighted the shift on Twitter, recalling how things used to be. In 2016, the UFC created proper promos for fight announcements. By 2019, Dana would appear on major media outlets to reveal fights. In 2022, announcements moved to YouTube with proper studio production. By 2025, he started doing announcements on Instagram Live, and now in 2026, it's just Instagram, often with no preparation. Fans feel that the UFC no longer prioritizes promoting the sport and that it has become a cash cow for billionaires. Some of the blame also goes to fans for tolerating mediocrity. The rest of the MMA community shared their thoughts as well. Many commented that the UFC should make a bigger deal out of fight announcements, especially since fighters themselves are often restricted from promoting their own fights. Teasing an announcement and then doing a casual Instagram Live 12 hours later disappoints fans who track Dana's account for hours. People feel the promotion no longer cares about building hype or presenting the product professionally. Some noted that the Paramount deal will likely keep Dana and the UFC comfortable for the next 6 years, reducing the urgency to elevate fight promotions. Fans shared that Dana could have used NX Post or Twitter for announcements, and they criticized the growing roster and crowded fight calendar, which waters down the overall product. Many suggested trimming dates and avoiding women's MMA as main events until the organization refocuses. There's also concern that Dana's focus on boxing and external ventures has distracted him from UFC priorities. The sentiment is that the UFC will improve once Dana and Hunter are no longer in charge. Overall, fans are fed up with weak announcements, lack of preparation, and a perceived decline in the quality of promotion, leaving many to hope for a more engaged and professional approach to fight reveals in the future. Moving on to another news. Justin Gaethje recently spoke to TNT Sports about his earlier comments regarding retirement. For context, Gaethje had said he might retire if he didn't get a title shot. Addressing those remarks, he explained that he was speaking emotionally at the time. He said, "I definitely got what I asked for. It was more of my manager putting me in that position. I probably said it, but we're emotional beings, and we're petty. You don't get to where I am or where these fighters are without being petty. I take things personal, and I thought I had earned something. I was trying to stand up." Gaethje's response shows the intensity and passion he brings to his career. His comments were driven by emotion and a sense of personal accomplishment, reflecting the mindset of a fighter who has worked hard to reach the top. Fans now see a clearer picture of Gaethje's mindset and the determination that continues to fuel his journey in the UFC. Moving on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev has come under scrutiny after his dominant performances in the octagon, with accusations of using steroids surfacing following his fight with du Plessis. Merab Dvalishvili's coach, Ray Longo, went on the record suggesting that Chimaev may have used PEDs while training under his new coach, Sam Calavita. UFC commentator John Anik didn't shy away from discussing the topic and appeared intrigued by the implications as the conversation arose while analyzing the middleweight title picture and Chimaev's recent dominant displays. Longo highlighted that Khamzat deliberately chose to train with TJ Dillashaw's strength and conditioning team, a group notorious for fighters being caught using banned substances, including Dillashaw himself during the infamous EPO scandal after his fight with Henry Cejudo. Longo suggested that Chimaev's choice of team was far from a coincidence, particularly given the latest photos showing him looking more muscular and jacked than ever. Fans and analysts have questioned whether Chimaev's incredible conditioning could be entirely attributed to hard work and genetics, or if there might be more behind it. John Anik agreed that it was an interesting angle, noting that chatter around the topic continues to grow as people speculate whether Chimaev turned to EPOs to address his stamina issues following a virus infection from years ago. Despite the speculation, Khamzat's team has remained quiet while he continues to steamroll the middleweight division, keeping the story very much alive. In further discussion, it was noted that working with TJ Dillashaw's strength coach, Sam Calavita, raised red flags. Commentators described the gym as notorious and implied that it has a history of cheating issues. There were suggestions that Khamzat should be triple tested before any major fights, as he is already an imposing athlete and could be further enhanced unnaturally. Analysts debated the choice, pointing out that among all the strength coaches available, selecting one with a known history of involvement in EPO controversies was a questionable decision. The discussion emphasized that while many athletes work hard and follow clean programs, Chimaev's selection of a team with intimate familiarity with banned substances stands out. Fans, fighters, and commentators alike are watching closely, and the speculation surrounding PED use, conditioning, and performance-enhancing decisions in Khamzat's camp ensures that this story won't fade anytime soon. The combination of dominance, team choice, and past scandals makes this one of the most talked about topics in the middleweight division today.